All right. And that's what she was asking. See? Iti samprashna samvrishto. All right. So welcome, dear devotees, to our Friday session of Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll read a chapter from Bhagavad Gita first to finish our chat obligations and chat promises, and then we'll go deep dive into prayers of Queen Kunti and pick up one verse from there. So we'll do all that after this short prayer. ॐ अज्ञानतिमरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Devaya,
ॐ नमो
oh,
भगवते
Deva,
वासुदेवाय
Devaya,
ॐ
oh,
नमो
oh,
भगवते
Vasudevaya.
वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
Satyam,
नरं चैव
Nam
नरोत्तमं
Chaivanadottamam,
देवीं
Devim
सरस्वतीं
Saraswati
व्यासं
Vyasam,
ततो
Tadadiyam
जयमुदीरये
Madhyate.
असाधु साधुतादायिन् अतिनीचुच्युतकरा हानमुञ्जा कदाचिन्मां प्रेम्णा हृत्कण्ठयोस्तुरः. All right, let's get started with reading from the Bhagavad Gita and sharing the Bhagavad Gita with you on desktop number 2, coming up 3 modes of material nature, starting with Vindhyavali Mataji. And welcome, Dilip Bhai Patel
Uh,
and Vijayalakshmi Mataji. And
Chapter 14, the three modes of material nature. Text 1. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Again I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowledge which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection. Text 2. By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. Mm,
X3, the total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the birth of all living beings. O son of Bharata, text 4. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth of this material nature, and that I am the seed giving father. Hare Krishna. Komal Mataji.
Thank you. Text 5. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. Text 6. O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. Oshana Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kunti, and because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive actions. Text 8. O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness, born of ignorance, is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The results of this mode of madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. Hare Krishna. Vindhyavali Mataji.
Text 9. Thank you, Mataji. Text 9. O son of Bharata, the mode of goodness conditions one to happiness, passion conditions one to fruitive action, and ignorance covering one's knowledge binds one to madness. Text 10. Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance. O son of Bharata, sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance. And at other times, ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. Sima Mataji?
Hare Krishna. The text 11, the manifestation of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. O chief of the Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of
Great attachment.
symptoms of I'm sorry,
Attachment.
great attachment, fruitive activity, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desire and hankering develop. Hare Krishna.
Text
It's,
13. When there is an increase in the mode of ignorance, O son of Kuru, darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion are manifested. Text 14. When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets of the great sages. Varshana Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Text 15. When one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. And when one dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom. Text 16. The result of pious action is pure and is said to be the mode of goodness. But action done in the mode of passion results misery, and action performed in the mode of ignorance results in foolishness. Hare Krishna, Vindhyavali Mataji.
Mataji, can you scroll it a little bit, please? Yeah. Text 17. From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, greed develops. And from the mode of ignorance, develop foolishness, madness, and illusion. Text 18. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planets. Those in the mode of passion live in the earthly planets. And those in the abominable mode of ignorance go down to the hellish worlds. Hellish worlds. Simi, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, text 19. When one properly sees that in all activities no other performance is at work than these modes of nature, and he knows that the Supreme Lord, who is transcendental to all these modes, he attains my spiritual nature. Text 20. When the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes associated with material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distress, and can enjoy nectar even in this life. Hare Krishna.
Text 21. Arjuna inquired, O my dear Lord, by which symptoms is one known who is transcendental to these three modes? What is his behavior, and how does he transcend the modes of nature? Text 22 to 25. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination, attachment, and delusion when they are present, or long for them when they disappear, who is unwavering and undisturbed through all these reactions of the material qualities, remaining neutral and transcendental, knowing that the modes alone are active, who is situated in the self and regards alike happiness and distress, who looks upon a lump of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold with an equal eye, who is equal toward the desirable and the undesirable, who is steady, situated equally well in praise and blame, honor and dishonor, who treats alike both friend and enemy, and who has renounced all material activities, such a person is said to have transcended the modes of nature. Varshana Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Text 27. And I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of the unlimited happiness. Hare Krishna.
Ultimate.
Hare Krishna. Mataji.
All right. Reflection time.
I like
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Oh, sorry.
No, Mataji, kindly go ahead. No problem.
Okay, thank
Okay, so Meera Mataji has also joined us, right? Meera, is it?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
Yes.
good, good. Are you in a position to read today?
No, I can just listen. Yeah,
Listen?
I'm okay listening. Yeah.
All right, good, good.
If somebody could read 24 and 25 again, I got a phone call and I missed a little bit of that reading.
So who read 24 and 25?
I did.
All right, so give it to us again. Sharing the screen again here.
No, 22, 25.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination, attachment, and delusion when they are present, or long for them when they disappear, who is unwavering and undisturbed through all these reactions of the material qualities, remaining neutral and transcendental, knowing that the modes alone are active, who is situated in the self and regards alike happiness and distress, who looks upon a lump of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold with an equal eye, who is equal toward the desirable and undesirable, who is steady, situated equally well in praise and blame, honor and dishonor, who treats alike both friend and enemy, and who has renounced all material activities, such a person is said to have transcended the modes of nature.
Meera,
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
reflection time, or are you ready to go into Bhagavatam? Tell
I
me.
was just going to say, Shraddha Mataji, that these are the three texts that I liked a lot, and I got to read them again. It's like even if one of these qualities, if we can, get. I mean, before we leave this, I mean, it's so hard, all of them, but it's really an eye opener.
Yeah,
And
but you can always start.
Mataji, I was just observing 22 to 25 is a repetition of what we read in chapter 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
yeah.
I yesterday I was telling you yesterday. Um,
Why do you think that
uh,
is repetition?
it
Because
says same thing.
It must be very important.
Do you ever repeat?
Living entity in
all the time,
Have you ever repeated? Give me an
all,
example. Give me an example.
always repeating instructions to the kids, come eat, come do this. Or that's the,
What is that favorite verse that where there is a lot of repetition? Very famous verse where there's a lot of repetition.
Hare Nama, Hare Nama.
Yes, the verse.
Hare Nama Kevalam Kalau Nasti. Nasti.
Give it to us, Sukumal Radhe Mataji. What are the repetitions there?
Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalau nasti, eva gati ranyata.
All right. So what did she repeat?
In this
Chanting.
in this age of Kali, there is no other way except by chanting to go back to God.
Right. And which words there talk about? Hare Nama.
Yeah.
Hare
Nama. Yeah. Hare Nama.
Names of the Lord, names of the Lord, names of the Lord. Chanting.
Yeah. No other way.
Yeah.
Kalau Nasti.
Right. So there is a lot of repetitions is meant to emphasize some important points. And so that is what is happening here. So you will find him repeating so many things every now and then in Bhagavad Gita, just to emphasize and make important the point that is there. Good. Anything else that stuck your mind?
Mataji, when they talk about passion, they say it's extreme attachment and also hankering.
Hmm.
There's so much attachment to the family and everything.
Don't fight that
So,
attachment. Okay.
is that passion then, Mataji?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The predominant of the three, which one do you think is the predominant mode of material nature? There are three modes of material nature, right? Which one do you think is the predominant one?
Passion is it passion?
What?
I guess.
Look at the world around you, and let's do a brainstorming. What do you think? Which one is the most predominant? Which is the predominant? Which are the
Passion.
passion?
But there is really not a very marked fine line between passion and ignorance. Like goodness, you can easily separate, but between passion and ignorance, there is it can go either
Goodness goes to the
into.
higher planets. Yeah.
No, no, I know, but uh, I mean, except that you
Hare
go into the animal kingdom, but other than that,
Okay, so let's look at it.
Ignorance is the
Hare
abominable.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Abnormal.
Hmm.
Is it right?
Varshana Mataji, yes, go ahead.
Yes, Mataji, goodness and passion, they keep on, changing time to time.
No, 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 no,
You
no,
see,
no, no, no,
No,
no,
no.
no, no. That is not the answer.
sometimes,
No, 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 no. That is not the answer. The question was, which mode of nature is more prominent in this material world? That was the question. And so now the
passion,
answer will be,
passion,
so everybody thinks it's passion.
passion is more common.
Now let's see. How many hours in a day do we sleep?
oh, then it's
Yeah.
ignorance. Then it's
Yeah.
ignorance.
Okay, and what is the biggest ignorance?
Sleeping.
I mean,
And this body.
I am this body. So the mode of ignorance is the most prominent in this material world. Biggest thing is we don't even know who we are, right? Sometimes our kids come and tell her, like, "Mommy, I don't know who am I." Because sometimes you'll have some naughty big brother in the
I
corner,
know stuff.
and they'll say, "What's your name?" "Oh, my name is Meena." "No, no, I don't think you're Meena. I think you're Rita." And the child is confused. And they'll come back to the mom like, "Who am I? Am I Meena? Am I Rita?" So we are like that. We don't know who we are. So we do sleep a lot. There are times when we just relax. There are times when we feel lazy. And the biggest is, so we are born into ignorance. Now, I'm not saying that all of you are in the mode of ignorance because you hardly sleep, right? So, but this is in general the prominent mode in this material world. And of course, this is followed on the second place by
Passion.
passion, right? And what do you do in passion? Work, 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 work all the time.
Fruitive desires all the
Yes,
time.
yes. And then passion will lead to lamentation because you will not get what you are running after.
But then don't you think a lot of us are also in passion, mode of passion, uh, and ignorance combined, kind of?
Yes, yes. And that's the
Oh,
next step, that there is a combination of all these modes of material nature also. And there can be many, 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 many combinations. A person can be in the mode of ignorance and then combine that with passion. But then the question is, how much of passion is in him? How much percentage are passionate thoughts? How much are ignorant thoughts? Right? And which is the more prominent one? So it could be a combination of ignorance and passion and ignorance. So in one combination, ignorance is more prominent. Second one, passion is more prominent. Ignorance can be combined with goodness also. From goodness, you can immediately fall to ignorance also, like that. So there are combinations, passion and goodness. So there's so many combinations that can happen. So that adulteration is constantly happening. And then Varshana Mataji was telling us something about transformations, right, Mataji? So what were you telling us about? Sometimes this happens, sometimes that happens.
Yes, Mataji, sometimes we are in goodness, serving the Lord, and suddenly you see, you get a phone call, and you leave that thing alone, and then you get into passion, and then the talk is in ignorance, and totally you come down. So they combine sometimes, and we have to be very careful when we are, like you said, this time, you last time when we had a talk on this, uh, I heard Guru Maharaj's lecture, and he said that we should keep our phones closed, so on silent mode. Do not look into it when you are chanting. And he said that when I chant, I chant. So this has really impacted on my mind and my heart. And I feel that then you can remain in goodness. But yes, sometimes the whistle of the cooker comes, and then suddenly you have to get up and turn off the gas. So the passion again gets into it. So they keep combining, keep coming out, they separate, they then combine like this. Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, yeah. So what he says is that anything which has an on and an off switch, that you should switch off, right? And then he asks us to go and turn
Yeah,
at the back
yes,
of our head, and he says touch over there, and also switch off, try to switch off your mind. And then about the pressure cooker going off, I mean, this is what happens if you chant later in the day, right? When other activities and other duties are coming up on us. So at that time, the pressure cooker will ring or whatever, the whistle will blow off. It will, and that is why they recommend that go to sleep early so that you
in
can
the
get up
morning.
early, and then do that when you don't have anything else to do. Switch off everything, WhatsApp, like, okay, 4 to 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm just chanting, and then you can get up, take shower, and then you can go and I mean, ideally, if you can get up at 4 and take a shower, that's
Yeah,
fantastic. That's the best thing that you can do, right? But if you can't, then it's okay also to just wash your hands and face, sit down and chant, read something, chant, and then um, get up, take shower, and start cooking bhoga and all that for the Lord, right?
yes,
But then again, if you are doing gayatris at 6 o'clock, so those adjustments have to be made. But
yes,
not to have these kinds of distractions planned. Whatever you can avoid, just avoid it. Do it before or after
yes.
chanting. Yeah.
I
Yes,
do
Mataji.
early morning when that East Coast they start the chanting
Mhm.
at 4 o'clock. So
There
I joined with them. This is for day 7 o'clock.
there you go.
3:30. They 3:30.
Yeah.
So that is 7:30.
Yeah.
6:30.
Mataji, if you are on West Coast side right now, we also have a call at 4:45 by Ananda Mataji. If you want to join that Zoom call on weekdays.
Yeah, but every day I'm attending that class, that East
Okay,
Coast
okay.
class.
Yeah, because
Every
East
day.
Coast 4 o'clock is too early for you. So
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no, 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 no. She's beyond that.
Every day
That doesn't affect
that's
I'm
her.
true.
first.
Yeah, that
I
doesn't
sit
affect her.
there every day first. I'm just
Right,
sitting there
right, right.
3:30.
Late in the night, when she was in East Coast, she was attending everything on the West Coast. Remember?
Yeah.
Now she's in the West
Yeah,
Coast. She's
yeah,
till,
at
till 10 till 11 o'clock in the night.
well,
Shraddha Mataji's class.
yeah, that's how we operate.
It's okay. I'm happy.
Mataji gets a double dose of everything.
Every double dose.
Oh, yeah, double dose.
That's why we let her read the first.
Yes.
So now you
Yes,
That's why
Mataji.
she tells me that I'm going to the Godhead first. So I will call everybody.
all righty.
Mataji,
Okay.
you are an
Yeah.
inspiration.
Sorry. Go ahead, Sonia. Was there a question
I
there?
was just saying Mataji is an inspiration. She's so dedicated.
No,
Yes.
no, I
Thank
don't
you,
think
Mataji.
so. I do. I'm just a beginner. Yes, Mataji.
All righty. So, are there any more reflections before, or we move to
Yeah, we can move to the Bhagavad.
Bhagavatam?
Thanks to Shraddha Mataji. She gave the inspiration for me.
What did I do? I don't even know how you started joining us. I forgot.
I don't know how I met you in the ISV here,
Yeah.
and I came here to the temple.
No, no. I was saying how you started coming into these classes.
I don't know. I just suddenly, no, when they were all reading this, I got interest to read like that. And then I said, how can I come? And you said you can attend these classes. That's what I think I remember. You remember they were all reading this text, Once I attended your class and I liked that reading and discussion.
Yeah, I don't. how that
A
happened.
long time ago I did.
How did it happen? Right. Okay. So very good. Now we're going to do a quick recap of what we have read in Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 8. And I'm bringing that up here for you on Zoom. And who is next in line to read? And did we have any? So
I
Meera.
think myself, I think.
Okay, so we'll continue to read, right?
Oh, Meera is there, no?
Meera,
Oh,
She's not reading.
she's not reading.
Okay, so we'll continue among ourselves to read. I'm going to start sharing the screen. So what you do is each one of you just pick up one verse. Okay, not two this time, just one verse from this, and go all the way up to 7, right? Like that. We'll cycle through to 7, like that. Okay. So now, who goes in next? Sukamal Radhe Mataji?
No,
Okay.
Vindhyavali.
Vindhyavali Mataji?
Chapter 8, Praise by Queen Kunti and Parikshit saved. Text 1. Sutta Goswami said, thereafter the Pandavas, desiring to deliver water to the dead relatives who had desired it, went to the Ganges with Draupadi. The ladies walked in front.
Text 2. Having lamented over them and sufficiently offered Ganges water, they bathed in the Ganges, whose water is sanctified due to being mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Text 3. There sat the king of the Kurus, Maharaj Yudhishthir, along with his younger brothers, and Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Kunti, and Draupadi, all overwhelmed with grief. Lord Krishna was also there. Question.
Hare Krishna. Citing the stringent laws of Almighty and their reactions upon living beings, Lord Shri Krishna and Munis began to pacify those who were shocked and affected. Vindhyavali Mataji.
Text 5. The clever Duryodhana and his party cunningly usurped the kingdom of Yudhishthira, who had no enemy. By the grace of the Lord, the recovery was executed, and the unscrupulous kings who joined with Duryodhana were killed by him. Others also died, their duration of life having decreased for their rough handling of the hair of Queen Draupadi. Simi Mataji.
Text 6. Lord Shri Krishna caused, caused 3 well-performed Ashwamedha Yagna, horse sacrifices, to be conducted by Maharaja Yudhishthira, and thus caused his virtuous fame to be glorified in all directions, like that of Indra, who had performed 100 such sacrifices. Hare Krishna.
Lord Sri Krishna then prepared for his departure. He invited the sons of Pandu after having been worshipped by the Brahmanas, headed by Srila Vyasdev. The Lord also reciprocated greetings.
Hare Krishna. As soon as he seated himself on the chariot to start for Dwarka, he saw Uttara hurrying towards him in fear. Hare Krishna.
Text 9. Uttara said,
Oh, no.
You were supposed to stop at 7.
Yeah.
Okay, who's after?
sorry,
Mataji? Who's after Varshana Mataji?
me.
Go ahead. Give us the Sanskrit.
Sloka. Gantum kritamatir brahman dwarakam ratham astita upalebhe bhidavantim uttaram bhaya vihwalam.
Gantum. Oh, sorry, Sonia Mataji.
Gantum, just desiring to start. Kritamatihi, having decided. Brahman, O Brahmana. Dwarakam, towards Dwarka. Ratham, on the chariot. Asthitaha, seated. Upelebhi, saw. Abhi, dhvavantim, coming hurriedly. Uttram, Uttra, Bhaya Vihalam, being afraid. Hare Krishna.
As, as soon as he seated himself on the chariot to start for Dwarka, he saw Uttara hurrying toward him in fear.
So,
Hare Krishna. All. Purport, Mother.
we'll go and take the purport, but I just wanted to ask a few questions over here. So,
Yes.
if somebody, do you know what is running called in Sanskrit?
No. I'm sorry.
Walking is Padanti. Padanti.
So, Dhavanti, yeah, Dhava.
Ab-
Dhava means to run in Sanskrit. So here he is saying Abhidhavanti.
Abhidavanti, coming hurriedly.
Very hurriedly. Not just running, but hurriedly she's running. So Abhi emphasizes, right? It's a
Abhidavantam, Abhidavantam.
yeah. So Abhidhavanti, she's coming very hurriedly. And who is coming hurriedly? Who is running?
Uttara.
Uttara.
Okay.
Uttara.
And then where is she? Okay. And then who was just trying to leave?
Lord Krishna.
Lord Krishna. Very good. And where was he going?
Dwarka. Towards Dwarka.
Right. From where?
Ganges, banks of Ganges.
And why did they go to banks of Ganges?
They were water.
They were offering water.
Why were they offering water?
Those
For the people,
those who all died, they were doing
those who all died.
Those
who all died. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it is not necessarily right that he was leaving for Dwarka right from Ganges, because it's a story that's being narrated. So they're saying, okay, they went to the Ganges and then Krishna started. So he must have come back home, taken a shower. They would have given him some food and talked. And then, then he's starting. So just desiring to start. So what is the Sanskrit for desiring to start?
Gantum.
Gantum. Okay. Gantum. Now, there is a word there that starts with the letter B. B for boy. There are actually two or three words. Can you give me the first one?
Brahman.
Brahman.
Okay. And what does that mean in English?
Brahmana.
Oh, Brahmana.
Oh, Brahmana. Okay. So this means somebody is talking to somebody, right? Oh, Brahmana. So who's talking to whom?
Sutta Goswami is talking.
Parikshit Maharaj.
But Parikshit Maharaj is a Brahmin?
No.
Okay.
Sutta Goswami.
Sutta Goswami.
Yeah. So Sutta Goswami never talked to Parikshit Maharaj. Who talked to Parikshit Maharaj?
Oh,
Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami.
Sukadev Goswami talked to Parikshit Maharaj. So who is this talking here? To which Brahmana is he talking? Right? So Bhagavatam is complicated, right? The stories inside stories inside stories. So we have to figure it out who is talking to whom. So remember one thing. First canto of Bhagavatam, Sukadev Goswami does not speak at all. Whole first canto is not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because what was the name of this chapter? Chapter number 8?
Prayers of
Creation.
Kunti.
Prayers of Kunti.
No, that's not the heading.
And Parikshit.
And Parikshit saved, right? So he's not even born, right here.
Parikshit, yeah, Uttara was running.
So there cannot be any, he's still in the womb of Uttara, so there cannot be any Sukhdev Goswami talking to Parikshit here, right?
Is that Dronacharya, sir? What is that? He's Ashwadhama? No.
I think Sutta Goswami is talking
Yes.
to Sukadev Goswami at Naimisharanya.
At Naimisharanya. Okay, I'll give that to you, except for one little thing. Yes, Sutta Goswami is talking in Naimisharanya. That's correct for 66.66 points. But who he's talking to? He's talking to Shaunaka Rishi, who is heading that assembly of people in Naimisharanya, right?
Shaunaka,
So close your eyes.
all the rishis.
Close your eyes and try to visualize that you are in Lucknow, and you see an assembly of people in Naimisharanya. Naimish Aranya. You know what is Naimish Aranya? So Aranya means forest,
Forest.
right? And Namish means Nimish. What is Nimish? Do you know what is Nimish? It's a
Center.
huh?
Center. Nimish.
No. So Nimish
If you
actually,
close your eyes and open that,
yes.
that second is called Nimish.
Yes, Nimish. So Nimish comes from blinking, right? So they are talking about that place in Lucknow where this conversation is happening. They are saying Nimish Aranya. Nimish Aranya means that the people over there, the sages who were there, who were listening to Sudha Goswami, were not even blinking their eyelids. Nimish Aranya, so there's no blinking of the eyelids happening there. I mean, it's not that they were not blinking, but they're just emphasizing that how much of a rapt attention they had put into listening to the Krishna Katha there.
Oh.
So this is happening in Naimisharanya in Lucknow. Okay. So now he's narrating it, and that's why he's saying Brahmana. So when he's saying Brahmana, he's addressing Shaunaka Rishi, who's head of
Rishis.
Oh, Brahmana, you're like that. Okay. So he's saying, oh, Brahmana. And then what happened? That he's saying that as soon as he, of course, who is he? Here?
Lord Krishna.
Lord Krishna, right? Even if you did not know Lord Krishna, you could have guessed it, right? But how would you have guessed it? That this is Lord
Capital H.
Capital H. There you go, right? So as soon as he seated himself in the chariot and started talking, he saw Uttara running towards him in fear. Okay, now let's see. Whose turn is it to read the purport? I think
Varshana Mataji.
Mataji, right? Okay.
Yes, Hare Krishna. All the members of family of Pandavas were completely dependent on the protection of the Lord, and therefore the Lord protected all of them in all circumstances. The Lord protects everyone, but one who depends completely upon him is especially looked after by the Lord. The father is more attentive to the little son who is exclusively dependent on the father. Hare Krishna.
Okay, now time for thoughts and reflections. And those of you who are watching us on the Facebook, which now includes Vijay Lakshmi Mataji, Jayant Krishna Das Prabhu, and Neelam Mataji, and Devyangi Devi Dasi Mataji. Please feel free to share your reflections on Facebook. We'll pick them up from there. Okay, so any comments on this situation here?
Little son means Uttara's womb, the Parikshit Maharaj? No?
No.
No,
That's a generic statement.
Yes.
Okay.
I really like this, Mataji, the point when he says the father is more attentive to the little child who is exclusively dependent on the father. So our surrender towards the Lord is the most important thing. And if we are totally dependent on him, then he takes up the responsibility. But if we leave him, we don't think of him, then he says, let him do what he wants to do.
Yes, and don't we do that with our kids also?
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Right? Mame vancho jeeva loke, because we are parts and parcel of Krishna, so we behave in the same way. So the way in which we behave with our kids, so we should expect Krishna will also be behaving with us like that. But he's more merciful on us than we are with our kids. Right?
Same way, Mataji, Uttara was fearful of the Brahmastra. So she was running towards, she was running towards Lord Krishna.
Krishna.
for her safety, for her child's safety. So she was running. So she's shown that she's totally dependent, and Lord is stopped there to, you see, to see her problem, to look into her difficulty.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
So did we somewhere else also in the previous chapters see some sort of a similar situation with Brahmas and some?
Yes, Mataji, uh,
Is it Arjuna also launches the Brahmastra in the like in the reply of um,
Ashwatthama?
Ashwatthama's
Ashwadhama.
Brahmastra, and then
Ashwadhama
Lord
runs like
Krishna
that.
asked him to, yeah, and
Yeah.
then it will
Ashwadhama runs
destroy the
like
world.
that.
So Krishna asked him to like retract it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the surrender actually, Krishna Krishna Mahabaho. Remember that verse?
Shri
Yes,
Krishna.
yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So that is also, so it runs in the family. You see, a little while ago, the father-in-law is saying the same thing, right? And so here we see. So Ashwatthama had released this Brahmastra, and there is this effulgence that is coming out from the Brahmastra, and Arjuna is confused as to what it has done. And it is such a beautiful thing that I'll again like to, repeat that. And yeah, here, come on. Next in line, please read this.
Thereupon, text 21, thereupon a glaring light spread in all directions. It was so fierce that Arjuna thought his own life in danger, and so he began to address Lord Sri Krishna.
Arjuna said, "O my Lord, Shri Krishna, you are the Almighty Personality of Godhead. There's no limit to your different energies. Therefore, only you are competent to instill fearlessness in the hearts of your devotees. Everyone in the flames of material miseries can find the path of liberation in you only." Hare Krishna.
You are the original personality of Godhead who expands himself all over the creations and is transcendental to material energy. You have cast away the effects of the material energy by dint of your spiritual potency. You are always situated in eternal bliss and transcendental knowledge.
Hare Krishna. Text 24. And yet, though you are beyond the purview of the material energy,
You execute.
Mother, just point out.
Oh, point out,
And
sir.
yet, though
You execute, therefore.
you are beyond the purview of material energy, you execute the four principles of liberation characterized by religion and so on for the ultimate good of the conditioned souls.
Yeah. So Varshana Mataji, I know that you
Yes.
read from a book instead of reading from the screen, right? And so on Fridays, you can bring the first canto of Bhagavatam with you. We are doing chapter 8, so that'll help you, right?
Mother,
You have it? Okay.
I have
Okay.
Anji.
All right. Okay. So then let's go. Let's go and do one more. 25.
Text
Mataji.
25.
Thus you text 25. Thus you descend as an incarnation to remove the burden of the world and to benefit your friends, especially those who are your exclusive devotees and are constantly wrapped in meditation upon you. Hare Krishna.
Next one.
O Lord of Lords, how is it that this generation, this dangerous effulgence is spreading all around? Where does it come from? I do not understand it.
Okay.
Text 27.
Let's stop over here. Let's stop over here. Okay. So when did all this thing happen? This Brahmas, which verse did it happen?
Text 19, right?
Text
text 19, Achyutama is doing it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he saw his life in danger. He touched the water and he released the Brahmas.
Yeah.
Now the action of Brahmas is happening in which text?
21.
21, right?
Yeah.
21,
starts.
yeah.
Okay. Now, so that is affecting Arjuna also. In which verse does Arjuna tell Krishna to save him?
Last one, 26, I think.
What
No,
what is he doing in 4 verses?
23.
20. Mm,
26 is the 26 is the right answer because he's
Yeah,
blessing the
26
Brahmas.
is, oh
Yeah.
Lord of Lords.
Yeah.
Yeah, how is
What
it?
was he doing? What was he doing in these 4 verses prior to that? I mean, there's a Brahmas coming at him,
He's praying to Shiv. He's praising him.
praising, he's glorifying him, right? So you see how a devotee is behaving, that he knows that, when you're approaching the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he's not your order supplier that you go and say that, you save me, I don't know what the effulgence is. He's still in the heat of the moment. He's sitting down and reciting 4 verses in praise of the Lord. And then he's saying that I do not understand it.
Mm.
What is this happening? So this is the way you see how devotees are behaving, right? In a very different way. And we read in the 14th chapter where Arjuna is asking, what is the nature of a person who is situated in transcendence? What is his behavior? You see, this is one a manifestation of that behavior, that they don't go just berserk on that. So you see, then his daughter-in-law in chapter number 8 that we are doing today, verse number 9, the same thing happened. And there here is saying that as soon as he gantum starts that, right? So as soon as he's seated on a chariot, then Uttara is hurrying towards him with fear, right? And in the purport, Prabhupada is explaining here that the Pandavas were completely dependent on the protection of Lord. And therefore the Lord protected them in all the circumstances. So this is the thing, that first, as who was saying, that surrender is very difficult to do.
surrendering and then only.
Yeah, so they are surrendered souls. They are surrendered souls, and for everything that is there, they just speak out to Krishna for protection. And those who are in the mode of passion will not do that. Mode of passion means something has happened and so I need to fix it. I am the one, I can do it. But the reality is prakriti kriyamanani gunaya karmani sarvasha ankahara vimhudatma kartaham iti manyate. So when you are in this false understanding that I am this body, then you are foolish. Ahankara vimud, not only mudha, you are vimudha.
Muda.
It's an intensifier. You're the best of the fools, the most foolish of the fools. Ahankara vimuratma kartaham itimata. Isn't this the height of the foolishness? That to think that I am something else, which I am not, right? I mean, it's an identity crisis. Forget about any other things that you don't know to do. You don't even know who you are, right? So that's the height of the foolishness. Ahankara vimuratma. So everything is happening according to the modes of the material nature. But you think that I am doing it. I made water out of hydrogen and oxygen. Right? You don't do anything. It's the law of material nature. If you take hydrogen and oxygen, you apply some pressure, you will get water repeatedly. You do that, you will repeatedly get it because that's a rule and the law of material nature. But ahankara mumanatma is thinking, I made it, I did it.
Ahankara.
So when you are completely dependent on the production of rasishiti, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. And to completely dependent on the production of the Lord was displayed by Draupadi. Finally, when she throws up both her hands in the air,
Yeah.
calls out for Krishna. That is like, I'm totally dependent. First, I'm going to use my body. Next, I'm going to use my husband's body. Next, I'm going to use my grandfather-in-law's body to protect me. But when she didn't get any protection from anywhere, that's at that time she remembered that actually I should be.
Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam.
Yes, very nice citation. That's what I should have done. Otherwise, the dharma of the lady, woman, is to seek protection from other people. Reach out to the husband that he's going to protect me, like that, right? So, and so here's the beautiful thing. Then, therefore, the Lord protected them in all the circumstances because they were completely dependent. So that's a pre-clause. There's a precondition. First, you have to be surrendered to the Lord. Then only He will do it. Right? The Lord protects everyone, but one who depends completely upon Him is specially looked after by the Lord. The father, and then he's giving example in general of this material world, the father is more attentive to the little son who's exclusively dependent on the father. Now, have you heard of the word runt of the litter?
Yes.
Okay, what does runt of the litter mean, Sukumala?
All the babies.
All the babies is litter.
The smallest or the little one who is a little backward or behind in some way or the other.
Yes, yeah. Runt is, like how a dog or a cat will give birth to 6 at one time or 8 little
And then
ones at
one
one
or
time.
two of them are not
Yes, yes,
strong enough.
exactly. One of them will be like the tiniest of the thing. And
Yeah.
what does the mother do? She takes care of the tiniest the most,
Mm.
right? So similarly, if you become the runt of Krishna, if you become a runt in front of Krishna, then Krishna will protect you. Just like a father will take more care of the son who is.
Mataji, I heard that Uddhava stories also, Uddhava Gita. He asked Krishna. Actually, Krishna asked him to ask some this thing favor. Means he wants, why don't you ask? You are working my chariot all the time, serving for me, and then ask something I will grant for you. So Uddhava says, I don't need anything, but he insists. Krishna insists, and he says, I have 3 questions only. So one is that, when they were Pandava, when Draupadi was having that problem, how come in the first itself, you didn't go and save her? He says, until she called me, I didn't go. The second question is, how come Pandavas were doing that gambling? And he was putting everybody like that, and including his wife, brothers, everybody. Yudhishthira was doing. So how come he didn't go and help? So you were standing there, but you didn't go. He says, Kauravas called uncle, Shakuni uncle. But they didn't call me. Pandavas thought they will handle themselves. So until everything was there, I couldn't do anything until they called.
Very nice.
Brothers was telling Yudhishthira, but he says, no, he wanted to manage himself, dharma. But it didn't happen. Like that, it was so good, Mataji. That all the time it says Sarvadharman Parityaja. Until we surrender, nothing will happen.
Yes.
As long as we say, I did, I can do, that I can do, ahankara, is that it will never help.
Yes. Yes.
That was very good.
Yes, this was very good also, what you told us just now. So on that happy note and on that happy narration, we'll call it a day. It's 8 o'clock time for me to prepare for work.
Oh, I can imagine. You are so tired, Mataji. You look so tired.
So I was going to say, tomorrow we got Bhakti Vriksh and we will assemble at that time. Sunday morning, I won't be able to have the class because, why?
Because of
Prabhu has, Guru Maharaj has the class.
Live to give.
Yeah, he's
Live
got a
to
class
give.
to give. If you go back and look at his website, fanthespark.com, on his website, fanthespark.com. If you go and look at Facebook/fanthespark, his Facebook page, you will have instructions on how to join the call. It's Live to Give. The last few weeks left of Srila Prabhupada's marathon. We are all trying our level best to go and meet the targets that we have of distributing 2 million Bhagavad Gitas all over the world. And so please bless us all, those of you who are watching us and those of you who are here on Zoom. We will assemble again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you so much.
But isn't that Guru Maharaj class is at what time, Mataji?
It happens at 5:30.
5:30. So your class is there 6 p.m.?
6 o'clock. Yeah.
6 o'clock.
Okay. So I'll be attending only one, but those of you who want to attend both, please feel free. No offense taken. Our first preference is to go and watch his classes, so you can watch the classes there. But I have the seva of teaching, so I'll continue the seva of having Bhakti direction. Okay?
Do
Thank
we
you
have
very much,
Japa circle tomorrow morning?
Say that again. We have a
Japa
Japa circle led by Gandharvika Radha Mataji. She's going to lead us. Yeah. And I didn't see you, Shruti Priya Mataji. Welcome.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Vancha kalpatarpyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
Hari bol.
Gopi
Thank you,
Mataji.
Shraddha Mataji.
Hari bol.
Thank
Thank you,
you, everybody.
Mataji. Take care. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Take some
Thank you
rest.
so much, Mother.
Take some
Hare
rest.
Krishna.
All right.
We'll allow you to
Krishna.
take some rest.
Okay.
Hare Krishna to everybody.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
That's
Hare
For those of you
Krishna.
watching us on
Dandavat.
Facebook, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Zoom